Another day of fighting now between Israel and Gaza. Watch this story now. Israel retaliating for a Hamas rocket attack by bombing targets inside the Gaza Strip. All this forcing Benjamin Netanyahu to cut his trip to the White House early. With me now, former Senate candidate, Iraq War veteran John James. And, sir, welcome back to our program here. Thanks, I know you've got a lot to say on this. First, from the Oval Office yesterday, here's the president on what's happening with the Golan Heights and the security he believes Israel needs today.
Today, aggressive action by Iran and terrorist groups in southern Syria, including Hezbollah, continue to make the Golan Heights a potential launching ground for attacks against Israel, very violent attacks. Any possible future peace agreement must account for Israel's need to defend itself from Syria, Iran, and other regional threats.
This is a significant headline for this part of the world, especially. Lindsey Graham writes at the Wall Street Journal, Trump's Golan decision is moral and strategic. The vicious regime in Syria should not be rewarded for trying to conquer Israel in 1967. It's going back some time, 50-some years thereabouts. What is your take on what happens next on this?
Well, I'll tell you point blank, we cannot trust the Assad regime. We cannot trust the regime to have the best interests of our Israeli allies at his best interest. Iran has gained a foothold and is enabling the Hezbollah, the Hamas, to wreak havoc and terror all over the Middle East. We must stand by Israel, making sure that there is no public space between the United States of America and the security of Israel, our vital allies in the spread of democracy across the region, and making sure that we have vital peace in the Middle East.
Now, Graham also says any thought of returning the Golan to the aggressor, meaning Bashar al-Assad, would be disastrous for Israel, morally wrong and strategically dangerous. When you look at the Golan Heights and that region geographically, it is a point of military conquest for Syria in the past and a place that Israel watches constantly on a 24-hour basis. In the meantime, you were at AIPAC last night, right? And
yes,
yesterday we were watching Mike Pence, the vice president, who said the following at that gathering.
As I stand before you, 8 Democrat candidates for president are actually boycotting this very conference. So let me be clear on this point. Anyone who aspires to the highest office in the land should not be afraid to stand with the strongest supporters of Israel in America.
Now, you were there. What was your experience?
The experience was great. It was a bunch of Americans, black, white, Jewish, Christian, all coming together in our support for the making sure that we maintain our alliance with Israel. I believe that the leader of the free world must make sure that his public and unequivocal alliance with Israel stays strong for forever into the future.
Well,
I stand by Israel.
Yeah, do you believe that this relationship has been fractured, especially when you hear from some on the far left in recent weeks?
So when you hear folks on the far left rightly condemning white nationalism and hate across the spectrum, and then failing and remaining silent on anti-Semitism, it is a blatant tone-deaf blunder from the left and not addressing this explicitly. Anti-Semitism has no place in the world, and especially not in the United States of America.
Well, Steny Hoyer said we have more than just 3 freshman Congress members. We have 60 plus. That was a direct shot at some of the reaction we've gotten so far. John James, I hope you come back from Washington today. Thank you, sir, for coming in today.